Okay, I've been looking over Kevin's post from yesterday morning, a couple mornings ago anyway, and it's a really interesting take on what happens when you generate too much signal and it turns into noise. You know, this Padlet wall he talks about here is the result of perhaps a couple years worth of people layering and layering on various posts in response to this course, this future learning course, which is subject is using movies as literacy moments in the classroom. And I love the understatement that Kevin has in here with "it's been interesting." So what I did was I commented on it using hypothesis, and then I note down here that here's the porch where old men can stand and shout at the youngins. And I meant that in jest, but now when I think about it is, you know, thinking about the relationship between text and response to text. And I'm thinking that if you look at this as an independent thing, let's just drag it over. Mark. If you look at this response as an independent thing, it has lots of little meanings, but separate from Kevin's original text. It really doesn't mean quite much of anything. It's an example of what Venkatesh Rao calls getting lost. And this is kind of these are the little trailblazers that I have made as I worked my way through the larger trail that Kevin has written. Now, I'm not saying that one is superior to the other. They're just different categories of knowing and doing. The annotating in the margins digitally is relatively new, and what we do with the digital marginalia, other than what they're originally intended for, is a subject that I think is well worth exploring. We talk about how we generate so much signal that we create noise. Kevin talks about that, which begs the question is, why don't we curate the noise and make sense of it? And I think that's one of the things that I'd like to see CL MOOC do this summer, our Connected Learning MOOC, is to connect, but to make sure that we also create meaning from the mess. Kevin says it's a design problem. It's what you get as a mess. I think human beings are basically a design problem, and that's what you always get as a mess until someone steps back, and as I did here, if you compare these two items, this is the mess. This is still a mess, but I've used Snagit image manipulating program to turn it into a maze. Now, I'm not saying this is a great creation, but what I'm saying is this is one of the ways that you can resignalify. That's a terrible word, but it's a way to make meaning from the noise. Now, it's not particularly great meaning, but it does hint that there might be a way to have at the Padify in such a way, or the Padlet in such a way that you could make it into a game of some kind. Now, how to do that, it's beyond me, but Kevin's a good gamifier, so maybe he can figure out a way. And you also have to decide whether doing that is, as they say, worth the candle. When candles were worth a lot of money, especially beeswax candles, you had to decide, should I light this or not? Is what I'm doing worth the money I'm spending on the candle? That's something we don't do much anymore. I'd like to see more of it done. And thanks so much, Kevin, for this. I really love this post, and I hope you don't mind me gamifying it.